Well, hello everyone, this is CJ with Cycletron. Well, this is my latest installment of my F Off series. I've recently been reading a book from one of my favorite new authors, Matthew Crawford, titled Why We Drive. I might do a full review of this book later on at some point, but for now, this book has reminded me a lot about my own thoughts that I have regarding electric vehicles and the big push for them on our roadways, whether it's electric cars or electric trucks, and how this is likely to affect motorcyclists and the future of motorcycling. In this video, I'll tell you why I think Elon Musk is at war both directly and indirectly with motorcyclists, and as a result, the specific reasons why I think he should F off. These reasons will mostly have to do with the various physical dangers that EVs pose to motorcyclists, and how the trends around EVs can bring about the end of individual freedom for those who love to ride a motorcycle or drive a car or truck as a result of mounting political and commercial pressures being applied for the push into fully automated driving. My number one reason as to why Musk should F off is that Tesla has consistently misrepresented the degree to which a Tesla driver can have the car do the driving for them. As a result, there have been many fatalities due to over-reliance of these so-called self-driving or automatic driving features of Tesla cars. Do you remember when governments actively tried to fine people who were distracted drivers with the advent of widespread smartphone use in this country? Those efforts seem to have largely disappeared, with distracted driving seemingly being accepted as the norm these days. We have gone from distracted driving being discouraged to it being elevated to a sought-after feature of Tesla vehicles in particular. In this case, the driver is encouraged to take their hands from the wheel, take their eyes off the road, and simply do anything else but be an active driver of your own vehicle. Musk has overhyped these capabilities of these so-called self-driving or autopilot Teslas, so much so that he's facing multiple class action lawsuits for deceptive trade practices and false advertising. Musk has also downplayed and frankly misrepresented the safety of such vehicle features. As this book points out, an independent researcher found that just the opposite was occurring, namely that people who engaged with these self-driving features of the Teslas were involved with a much higher rate of vehicle crashes than a driver of a manually operated vehicle would experience. Reason number two for Musk is the self-driving features have not at all been optimized for motorcyclists, bicyclists, or pedestrians. Instead, what we have is a massive beta test going on with Tesla vehicles where the cameras are recording road traffic and fixed objects along the roadway and uploading the data to Tesla's cloud servers in the hopes of making these self-driving vehicles better and more reliable in the future, which implies that they're not there today, as the evidence clearly points out. There have been others who have done videos about how Tesla vehicles being used in self-driving mode have killed motorcyclists on roadways, so I won't repeat those details here. The fact that these EVs are so quiet adds to the hazard of these vehicles running into motorcyclists, since they're much harder to hear relative to, say, the engine or the exhaust from an internal combustion engine vehicle. As the book Why We Drive points out, we are entering a particularly dangerous period where instead of there being overlap between human and automated driving related systems, instead we're going to have more instances of detrimental reliance where things fall through the cracks, where we don't look for a hazard or we don't plan to react to a hazard if we do see it, since we're expecting the electronic nannies to do it for us. Reason number three is that Teslas accelerate as quick, if not quicker, than most motorcycles. A typical 0 to 60 time for a motorcycle is between 3 and 4 seconds. For sport bikes, it's between 2.5 and 3 seconds 0 to 60 time. For example, the Tesla Model S Plaid has a 0 to 60 time of 2 seconds flat. That's faster than most supercars. This makes it harder for motorcyclists to accelerate ahead of the pack of electric vehicles at a stoplight, which is something that I often do to create a safety cushion from other vehicles when I'm out riding. Reason number four is that Musk has stated that Tesla will never make electric motorcycles because he said he nearly died on a motorcycle when he was young. This is a problem for motorcyclists in several respects, mostly because it reinforces the notion that people, and young people in particular, that are somehow in no position to assume their own risks in life. Secondly, it shows that Musk has no commitment to motorcyclists or motorcycling. Since I'm keeping this content motorcycle related, I won't go into the myriad other reasons why he should F off, like the recent example of where he's wading into Taiwan-China relations, suggesting that, Taiwan should just let China take over because it'd just be easier for everybody. Or his suggestion relative to Russia and Ukraine, how to halt the war and negotiate some type of settlement that in essence is Russian appeasement. And in both of these cases, Musk has been panned worldwide for his suggestions. But that does show his tendency and his commitment to sacrifice individual freedom and liberty for the so-called greater good of the masses, and that is the masses driving electric vehicles with these so-called automated driving features. So to sum up, and here's where I'm interested in your take on these issues, please let me know in the comments section, by the way, what can we as people do to maintain the freedom of choice when it comes to what we ride and where we ride it? First, I think regulators need to do more to hold these tech companies to account. Why should Tesla get a free pass at testing out vehicle features that are unproven and hazardous because of the false assertion that most people either don't want to drive their own vehicle or simply don't have the skills to do it themselves anymore? Secondly, the media needs to quit fawning over Musk and everything he says and does. He is acting in his own self-interest and that of his company, period. Personally, I think that people in the US in particular need to get over the billionaire worship cult that includes people like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Mark Cuban, etc. Just because these people are rich does not make them all-knowing and wise in all aspects of individual and societal endeavors. So in short, I think it's better to think for yourself rather than let your thinking take a shortcut to match whatever one of these billionaires says. Be sure to hit those subscribe and notification buttons and let me know what you think. Thanks very much.